Cheep Cheep survived our past adventure, even if he'll insist on exactly the opposite. He told everyone for months how he defended me from all the evils of the world and then only just escaped with his... I had my birthday during the few weeks that we spent living. That was a big deal. He couldn't understand that the significance of birthdays tends to... He insisted on making me a present. He sat in the corner. My jewellery box serves as a... Could you please... I want to get a... He doesn't listen to me anymore since I almost caused him to be roasted by... Mother has permitted him to disregard any of my orders that go against her. I've been sleeping badly of late, and sometimes I feel tired all day long. I've never been ill, but something isn't... The times when the others were here in the elf burrow, those were the best that I've ever had. The critter could never keep still when I was drawing him. He was always pulling faces and trying to make me laugh. Wilbur was so excited. He loves elves. He spent hours sitting with my father and listening to him talk. Complete. Fresh water from the spring brook, the little stream that rises here. People come from far. Normally this bowl is full of... Presumably Mother has decided I should be without such things while... A beautiful red flower. It was only put here a few days ago. Sometimes Mother orders a new plant that looks nice in my room. And then it's replaced and planted. An envoy from the Far East gave me this musical box. Wherever I go, I always have its tune in my head. The music box closes automatically as soon as... A guard with a spear and shield, and like... The music box closes automatically. We have many exotic plants here in the palace, but sunflowers are my favourite. Apologies, I need a few of your... I used to look into the woods for days on it. Now I know. Hey, Cheep. Fancy some delicious... You want the seeds? I want to get out of this room. I would never do that. I know that royal servants... Most birds love a mirror because they believe they can see, and you just love them because you can't. I would be a bit less unbearable if I wasn't in car. See you later. Yes, of course I'll be a good girl. Cheap. Oh. A delicate sweet scent. No, I'm not. Normally this bowl is full of fruit and presumably Mother... Oh, cheap can't be... I'll have to try... It may not be befitting of a princess, but this isn't the first time that... It may not be befitting of a princess. I wasn't going... Of course I could just ignore... He would, however, make a beeline to Mother and tell on me. The music box closes. Cheap, would it be possible for you to stop admiring yourself for 2 seconds? Don't say I never look... Pearls, precious stone, all the stuff I... If it were up to Mother, I would have... She just can't understand. The box, as well as its hinges and lock, has been fashioned... Okay, he's not looking... Oh, there is more than one kind of stretch X. Perhaps you'd like... No chance. I can't... Wilbur didn't know that autumn would last for years to come and that elves don't feel the cold. But it was still the best birthday. Mother looked at the hat with so much revulsion that I didn't take it off for days. Pearls, precious... Goodness... Mother's locked me in since I secretly escaped from the elf burrow last year. okay. Withdrawal symptoms? I just need the music. You don't need to turn your head away from your beautiful reflection. Shh. It got dark and he's simply... Let's go. As expected, my parents are in the throne room ruling. A fairly small, unattractive tree.
Huh. I'd like to see how attractive you'd look if someone disturbed you on the pot in the morning.
You mean...
Anyway, what could I...
Mother put me on a diet this morning so that I'll look perfect for my wedding.
Oh, everything has to be perfect for her. No such thing in nature, of course. Or rather, everything is perfect if you just let nature run its course.
You tell that to Mother.
I have, many times. She'd be very clever in some things, but very daft concerning that.
Now then, she is the Queen.
I'm old enough to be able to call a spade a spade. Spade, gardener, get it?
You and Father, you get along well, don't you?
Ah, no one understands more about nature than him, that's for sure. But I don't often ask him for help. Thinking has never got a field dug, if you get my drift.
He's just more of a theorist.
Ah, the mud on your feet, the smell of fresh earth, all that joy and life. And he's missing out on the lot by just sitting around up there and doing nubbit.
The garden always looks fantastic, Arbor.
Thank you. It's a girt load of work. People always think elf gardens are fabulous by their very nature. But you need a mighty good gardener.
You have got green fingers.
Ah, that's just moss, me dear. Happens if you spend all day grubbing around in the earth and don't wash your hands properly in the evenings.
You tree shepherds do a great job.
Tree shepherds? The trees just stand there. What do they need a shepherd? However, I quite fancy one of those shepherd dogs. Hey, Rex, do you want to be my shepherd dog? Nah, my darling. I'm a gardener. Nothing more, nothing less.
What are you up to today, then? Got much on?
Oh, the usual. You know, it never rains in the Elfborough, but the flowers need their water, so I water them every day.
Ah, the curse of good weather.
The weather isn't the only thing which isn't right. I've been here 30 years, and for 30 years we've had autumn.
Time passes differently in the Elfborough. Slower.
Well, that's why everyone grows to be ancient here, obviously. But if we had a bit of normal weather and the usual seasons, there'd be a lot more variety here.
I have to get on.
Yep, got a bit to do myself. I just don't know what's wrong with that plant over there. Your mother got a whole heap of flowers given to her the other day from a fairy delegation. All of them took good and strong, just not that one.
Perhaps it needs a special type of soil or something.
Well, anything's possible. If I don't think of something soon, I'll have to ask your father. He can have a little chat with her and she might tell him what's up.
If you're going in, it'd be nice if you didn't tell my mother that you saw me out here.
Oh, you playing hooky again? My lips are sealed.
Arbor's obviously concerned about... Mother thought it was unseemly of the bees to build their hive, and I don't think she could get used to the thought that she would no longer be the owner. It doesn't look very well at all. It's unusual for flowers to... Normally they blossom in our good earth. Not... Hi, Arbor.
Oh!
Have you found out what's...
Nope, I haven't. Everything looks proper. Earth is moist and nutrient-rich. The sun is shining. Difficult case. I'd quite like to smoke my morning pipe now, but...
See you later, Arbor.
See ya!
I don't know the names of all the plants in the garden. Grandmother knows them all, which is probably down to the fact that it was her that gave many of the plants their names a few thousand years ago. Shite beerwood, sweat tea, dodder flower, fat hen, bistort, stink root. We no longer invite. This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the further... At the moment, it's no more than a shallow bowl. A handy smooth... There's only a little water left in the bird bath. I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled... That's a weeping willow. It appears to be... There are elf-made ponds and streams all over the palace ground. Their water... The spring brook emerges up there. It's still small here, but it... That leads up to... Mother will be conducting the affairs of state with an iron will, whilst... There are reeds and water lilies growing in the pond. Naturally, they... I can't think of any use for a water lily, but... Isn't there a turn of phrase like, as long as the bees are wide awake and Swords of all the idiots who have tried to conquer the elf. It's become less frequent over the last few centuries. This flower clearly is one of the more exotic of the palace's flowers. It comes from a country in the deep south beyond... It's said that the flower of this plant used to be sent as a declaration of war. What have we got here then? Aha! Ah! Almanac of Elf Medicine. That's what I've been looking for.
Ow! Be careful, if you please.
A speaking book?
An ill elf?
I haven't been feeling too well recently. I'm sleeping badly and have no appetite. I know that elves are very seldom ill, but if it's not that, then it must be some kind of magic or curse.
Seldom ill does not actually mean never ill. Elves can, for instance, suffer from a broken heart.
Oh, please.
It is one of the most common causes of death amongst beautiful princesses.
Oh, it must be something else.
Sensitive elves can sometimes suffer from the pains of the world. There are a variety of ear infections, and of course it could also be lupus. But I think it is something else.
Like what?
To be completely certain, you must mix a potion and drink it.
Are you serious?
Very.
All right, this potion.
It is very... You need to pound together the green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey and a red herring, and then mix with water into a viscous potion.
Oh, that's...
It's medicine, it isn't...
And if I drink it...
We will then at least...
I demand to know this
Sometimes
I...
a placebo only works when one doesn't know. Make the potion and...
Are you actually qualified to make a diet?
I am a magical
I've never encountered...
Of course not. In the magical library.
You were probably given to us by someone from Seastone.
Right. I was a complete idiot. As I am a book about elf medicine, I didn't get much to do in Seastone.
Yeah, we elf.
And more than that, you don't actually have much time for books. This is the center.
We don't have much use for books. We sing songs...
Then that's probably also the reason why...
What do you mean?
Allow me to elucidate. Over the years, the songs you elves sing will be changed and adapted, a little here, a little there. And who can prove otherwise? There are no other witnesses and...
This metis bush.
Haven't a clue. I'm just a book and have spent...
And if it's...
Have you been bitten by a...
No?
Then it can't... No, I'm pretty sure it's something else.
A red herring.
Of course. Red herrings are known... Their uses in the areas of medicine.
All right, so I... Ill elf.
Take it easy.
Yum.
And you look...
I do?
No, of course. But the mere fact that I...
What are the...
The green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey, and a... You have to put everything into a bowl with...
Thank you. I think that's...
Normally, it's me that ends patient consultations. You are only a princess, but I am a doctor.
A few years ago, this dragon was causing a whole lot of grief. A bounty was put on its head, and all heroes of the land were encouraged to hunt it down. 40 brave warriors penetrated its lair and slew it. The strange thing was that a bit later, more adventurers came carrying an identity. A great example of the variety of our world's fauna. Some of the ideas Mother Nature has can be quite off the wall. Several books about animals, an atlas, a book about humans. Actually, more of a brochure. And what's this? Fishing for the moderately talented. Goldsmithing, masonry. Like all books in this library, those elves, they have so many beautiful statues and items of wood. What they don't realise, though, is that if we're interested in working with wood. There's a he carves animal figures so real that humans and... This one's more about interiors. Plane the wood down by a pixie's... Perhaps there are a few practical... A lucrative season with a successful technique it doesn't matter whether you jig, dip, toddle or feed. Wobblers, twisters, I haven't the faintest idea what all that means. I presume a present from one of the northern... Strange folk up there. The men climb mountains and shout I think it's some kind of test. There's a selection of cubes here. For a while, it was all the rage at official state visits. The Biggest Plant Book of Avantasia by Charles Mendel with illustrations by Alexander Bond, a standard reference book that Arber always used to consult every now and then. However, he... No idea what kind of bush this... If I learnt one thing in the woods, it's that you shouldn't eat anything. Arber's pot. I really shouldn't... I should tell Mother how her daughter... A handy smooth stone. Arber's sheepdog. Mother pours water from various... She did this almost daily in times gone... Ever since the... A lovely spot, so long as the bee... I don't have any time to rest, and... Hi, Arber.
Oh!
Look, I found...
Woodcrafts?
I thought it might interest...
I don't...
Horace...
Wood that has been clamped into a revolving monstrosity to be whittled...
Sorry, never...
Branches sawed off, boards...
If I were ill and needed to make some medicine...
Ill?
But if...
Oh,
Do we have a
that bush over...
But that fruit's
And what colour do you...
green. Are they only green when they're not...
Nah, they're blue then. They're green when the bush senses danger.
Pardon?
The Metis bush has exceptionally delicious sweet fruit. But if...
Ah, and the bush only has red fruit because it has...
That's...
Do you know how I could...
Try the...
I prefer not to...
Of course.
Would that beehive in the tree...
Oh, I'd be careful with that. The bees defend their honey and can...
Couldn't they be distracted or tricked?
Beekeepers wear protective clothes and use... But I don't have any beekeeper kit here. I just let the bees keep their honey and they pollinate my flowers. That's how we've always done it.
I often see you fishing.
Of course, if you bring... What's up?
I was convinced that I would have to make my own fishing rod or that you'd...
Why?
Thanks.
Not everything needs to be complicated, you know.
There's something about the post.
Art.
There's some. See you later.
See ya.
This is a meta spoon. Only. Since Nate left without saying so much as a word, Mother seized the opportunity to marry me off to a proper elf prince. So far, I don't have a clue about. Just as I expected, nothing. On the other hand, somehow I have the feeling that I now know what I'm doing. The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I guess that I can just practice until I'm good enough. As suspected, there are red herrings swimming in the pond. But they always come back to their homeland to breed. They're the only known fish variety that can scale nearly vertical cliffs. A classic. Pity. The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang one onto the hook before I cast the line out. A classic. The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang... At last! Now I can tick the red herring off my list. I've got what I need, and perhaps I'll have a bit of luck catching up. A classic. Pity. A classic. Nothing. According to Arbor, the bush's fruit becomes... Since Nate left without saying so much as a word, Mother sees... So far... Hi, Arbor.
Oh, I've...
About the potion.
Art.
What was that with the Metis bush?
If the bush gets scared, feels threatened or unwell...
There's something... See you later, Arbor.
See ya!
The door can be opened easily from the outside. Water's the easiest ingredient to find. That should do it. The medicine book reckoned that it should be a viscous potion. Thanks for the sacrifice, little fish. It's a start, but there is still... When Nate and the others lived here, Nate often made intimations that were to do with the bed. I don't know why, but I know Mother wasn't happy about it. And Cheep Cheep was ordered never to leave my side. And that's the sound of cheap...